Lordy. Alright, so here we are. Another episode of VAG for you. Got some video game items. I swear one day I'm going to get this lighting sorted. First thing I ran into was a huge stack of Game Informers. Paid $2 for them. There's like 15 magazines there, 15, 16, something like that. Now the interesting thing about this is at that garage sale, there was tons of fate involved in this garage selling day. This is a Thursday garage sale day. I was dropping my girlfriend's daughter off at volleyball. And she needed to put her braces, rubber bands in, so she's using the visor mirror. Now, I keep a bunch of shit tucked in the visor because my vehicle is for me. Like, that's that whole vehicle's for me and locomoting myself. And I very seldom do makeup in the passenger seat. That's just not something I do very often. So there's a bunch of shit tucked up there. Now, way back when I first got this vehicle, my Durango, I filmed an interview with the toy store owner who is, that segment's going to be in an upcoming episode of Mondo Cool TV. Some of you have already seen this because you talked to me. I'm like, hey, what do you think? You know, whatever. Some of you know who I'm talking about. And so she found the address to that. She's like, what's this? Like, that's the address to the toy store. She's like, what? I'm like, don't worry about it. So later that day, after I buy these magazines and I'm backing my truck out of, there's like a little dead-end street. There's like just two houses on the street, one on each side, and then the street dead ends, and there's a park. So I'm backing out to the main street to get out of there. And who should appear behind me but the owner of the toy store? What are the odds that I would throw away the address for that toy store and run into that guy on that day? That's weird. The garage sale fate. So he actually, I had thrown it in reverse as he had pulled up, and then he saw my reverse lights, and he backed out of the way and let me out. So I thought about stopping and saying hi or something, like, hey, how you doing, bud? It's like, whatever, man. So anyway, that's the first instance of fate on that Thursday of garage selling. So I get to the next garage sale, and I pull up, hey, have any video games? And I think the woman was retarded. Borderline retarded. She seemed a little slow. Not 100% with it. And so she's like, video games? No, we don't have any of those. It's like, oh, nothing, you know, Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation. My son wanted to sell some PlayStation 1 games, but I told him they wouldn't sell. So I look down, and there's a box of adult diapers. So this woman thinks that, video games, no one's going to look for those at garage sales. But some old man shitty pants, that's a high-ticket item. People just, they think, I'm incontinent, I'm going to go drive around all fucking day in search of adult diapers in people's driveways. She seemed a little slow. So she's like, they're all in the garage. I'll go look. And then about 3 minutes later, her husband comes around the house and says, come on back. Let's go look in the garage. So they have 3 boxes of video games. There's a bunch of PlayStation and PlayStation 2 games. I look at, they have Jak and Daxter 1 through 3. Some Ratchet and Clank games, I forget the subtitles, Crash Team Racing, and Crash Bash. And this is my maybe pile, and I'm looking through each and every one of them, and every disc is fucked. So I just sit them to the side. I'm like, I'm not really that into them. I don't think they're high-ticket items, because there's HD remakes of the Jak and Daxters, aren't there? I think there is. And so I'm like, I'm not really married to these. And then I get to this item. It's a PlayStation 1. And there's 3 memory cards. These 2 are official. This is the official white one that matches the PS1. And then the official darker gray one that matches the original PlayStation. And then this third-party memory card. And then I've been looking for, on the cheapy cheap, one of these. The controller that goes with the PS1. The PSONE. And then I find this. This is Colony Wars. I already have it, but this is the only game that wasn't just scratched all to shit. And it's actually in really nice condition. So I pull this to the side, and then the rest of the games, besides what I mentioned earlier, were like sports and driving. Nothing I give a fuck about. And the woman was like, I'm gonna go out front to handle the garage sale. And then like 2 minutes later, she comes back. There's another man looking for video games. I'm like, oh shit! So I gather up Colony Wars, the PS1, the 3 memory cards, and the controller. And the guy walks in, and I fucking know the guy. He used to have a stall in the flea market in the town I live in. And I used to buy games from him like 6-7 years ago when I was starting out, and you could go to used game stores and shit wasn't too overpriced. And I offer the guy, like, so now I know there's a shark. There's like a confirmed guaranteed shark operating in my waters, running a used game store, and and I'm like, hey, I know you. So actually, I gather up my shit. I say, hey, will you take $10 for this? And the guy's like, you can see the concern on his face. This is the look I usually have. I'm making a deal. I'm like, will you take $10 for this? And I've got, for this game, this system, and he's like, the guy running the sale is like, I'm like, there's no power cord. Well, you do $10 for it because there's no power cord. So there's no way to test it. And he's like, okay. So then I get the fuck out of there. And I think $10 for a PS1, which I have tested, it does work. 2 official memory cards. This controller I've been looking for. And I told my girlfriends, like, yeah, and I've been trying to find one of these PS1 controllers. It's got the different plug here. It's rounded. It's different color. I mean, I'll never use it, but I want it to complete the set. And then Colony Wars, $10 for it. And then the look on the guy's face was priceless. And on my way out, I was like, hey, I recognize you. You used to own a game store in Kettering. He's like, still do. And you can see he's dejected that I got first pickings. Now, I'm sure if he has like a professional grade disc resurfacing technology, he bought all that shit and made a profit. There's not a doubt in my mind. I wish I grabbed at least Crash Team Racing, because I hear really good things about it. That's probably the game I was most interested in. I've played demos for Jak and Daxter and Ratchet & Clank, and it's just not for me. So I really didn't care about those. And they were just too scratched, and by the time you invest in resurfacing to resell them, it's not fucking worth your time or money. Cause they weren't super high-ticket items in my mind. I may be wrong, I don't know. And then it's like, and I was like, hey, do you have a business card? And he's like, I'll do you one better. I got a flyer. Now, I've folded back the name of the company because you ain't getting no free advertisement here, but this is the saddest flyer I've ever seen. It just says, you know, items that we are looking for, and then it lists 1,000 Game Boy systems, Magic the Gathering cards, bulk and key cards, Pokemon cards from recent sets, and all of its games and card game stuff, because at that place they do like Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments or whatever. And then the last thing, Beatles records. And I wonder if it was his wife. She was there with him, or if that's what she's looking for. But then it just says, clean out your closets and turn your old items into cash. And the $sign instead of an S. Cash. And then, you know, it's got a website address, call or text for more information. So I got to outshark the shark that day. Now, he may have been happy with that deal. He may have felt that I was slipping, but I got the only things that were valuable to me. Paid $10 for it. Now I've got a backup PS1. I've got more official PS1 memory cards, which is something I've been looking for. All in all, pretty good day. So I got real pumped, man. I got that adrenaline shit going from it, and just a good day all around. So then Saturday, I didn't do any garage sale on Friday. Saturday rolls around, and I go garage selling with my woman. And let me get some of this crap out of here. And what's the first thing we find? I think this is the first thing we found. roll up to a garage sale. This real nice lady had like that kind of West Virginia accent. Like, a lot of Dayton's a weird place. It really is. It's a weird place. Back in the 60s, a lot of the factories and industry around here imported poor hill jacks from like West Virginia and down in the mountains and shit, and the foothills, the Appalachians, and all these mountain people. So we got like just these enclaves of backwards as fuck hillbillies, and she was real sweet, so I talk like this. Just, you know, there's no sense. You know, if you see something you want, make an offer. There's no sense in me keeping it. If you can use it, just make an offer. I'll take anything. I was like, oh, okay. And I see some controllers. Now, I was in the car talking to my girlfriend about how it was cool that I got the PS1 controller to complete that set. So I get up there. There's a couple Wrestleman games. There's a DualShock 2. A 7-foot controller extension for PlayStation controllers. And another PS1 controller. Now this one's fucked up. It's someone chewed off the rubber piece. But I'm thinking maybe I can, like, real cheap get some of those controller grips that go over and maybe make it less shitty that way. I don't know. So I offered $1 for these two controllers. The DualShock 2 is fine. It's in better condition. And the wire extension, and she took the offer of $1. That was pretty cool. So we continue on. Oh, I'm trying to grab this shit. Okay, so we continue on, and the next thing I find, get to a garage sale. There's a box full of games, and in front of the box it says games $5. So I'm like, And I look through and I pull out what I want, and then I come up with my strategy. I'm like, okay, I'll offer $10 for these 3 games that I want. So we got Destroy All Humans. We got Soul Calibur 3. And then we got Okami, which is the real winner from that deal. And then I say, hey, will you take $10? And she's like, how about 12? I was like, 10. 11. And I was like, and I was about to say 10. Because I was like, okay, 11 it is. It's $1. You know, whatever. So, I mean, not a bad deal. Okami's definitely the most valuable game out of these 3. It's worth more than $10 on its own. So these are some PS2 titles that I'd like to have, and I got them, and that's the amount I paid. So, there we go. So then we make it out towards where I live to do some garage sailing. And we're over by where my friend Anthony used to live. Like right around the corner, like 3 houses away from his old spot. And I get out, and there's a woman sitting in the driveway. There's a man and woman sitting in the driveway, and then the woman walking around setting up the sale. The whole yard's splayed out with shit. And I see the woman wrapping up a Super Nintendo controller. So I immediately, like, changed course. I was going off to the grass where all the shit was. Immediately changed course, and I start rooting through the box. And it's like, oh, you got some cool video game stuff here. There's 2 Super Nintendos, an N64, and a PlayStation. And I'm thinking, I'm going to offer $20 for this box and get the fuck out of here. And, eBay! eBay! They start shrieking about eBay. Her and her little lady friend. eBay! We looked at eBay! eBay! And I was like, fuck you cunts. And I don't think they really did. In hindsight, did too much eBay research. But the other woman that's buzzing around, it's like, she's just cleaning out her garage. I'm having a garage sale at her house to clear out some shit that I, for some reason, I don't know what the fuck, whatever she's fucking talking about. But they keep harping on about eBay. And she's like, but I've got some video games. She want to look at some video games. So I go over and I look at her shit, and she pulls out a box. And there's a stack of Nintendo games. You know, Mario 2, Mario 3, a couple Super Mario Duck Hunts, Mega Man, Little Nemo Dream Master, whatever it is. And I'm thinking, I don't know. And then so here's what I got. The only other game I was really interested is all stuff I had. Every last one was games I had. And I really did a good job cleaning these up. Shit. So I pull out 3 things that I'm interested in, and they keep harping on about eBay. And she's pointing at Super Mario like, this is worth a lot. And now this is something I need to keep in mind. Normal fags, they do think that Mario is the most valuable thing. And for a large, for the people just getting into retro gaming, yeah, that's why Mario costs so much. Because kids are just, or, young adults are buying shit they played when they were kids. So they're going to pay premium prices for Mario Duck Hunt because that's what they want. So I think that's why you see high prices on that. And so I grab these 3 items. We got Zelda 1 and 2 and this Game Boy DMG 1. Now I've cleaned all this up. And this project keeps getting more and more ambitious. I'm going to show you some footage of what was wrong with this. Now this is apparently a common issue, but along the sides of the screen, there were dead lines. There's no pixels showing up, and it's apparently a real easy fix. So this is now a repair segment for Mondo Cool TV. That's how a lot of this shit happens for the show. Like, I plan a lot of these projects, and then sometimes they just fall in my lap. So I bought this Game Boy, and I was real amped about it. The battery was really corroded, and the battery contacts, and a little bit of lemon juice just melted that shit off. It actually bubbled and sizzled. I'd never used lemon juice before, but that's the real deal right there. So I got these items in my hand, and she keeps harping about fucking eBay! And so I'm like, oh, I don't even know what to do here. So I offered $10 for these. Now, while I'm holding these in my hands, I'm like, yeah, will you do $10 for these 3? Her friend, the one going through the box of Super Nintendo, she's like, oh, Sally, Zelda games go for a lot of money at GameStop! And it's true, GameStop does buy and sell Nintendo games now, like Nintendo games, but I'm pretty sure they just buy them and then they sell online only. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the deal. And it's like, oh yeah, and at GameStop, are they full of spiders' eggs and covered in mud? Are they? Oh no, someone's taken the time and care to clean them up, put new batteries in them, and wipe off the fucking dookie stains. Oh, really? And that kind of shut her right the fuck up. So then, and then I was like, so will you do $10 for these? And she's like, sure, I'll do $10. Because she's like, well, I don't know if the Game Boy works, because it was beat. And when I got home, it was beat, it was covered in battery corrosion. It apparently spent a lot of time in a hot garage, because I think that's what made this issue with the screen, I believe, is from heating and freezing, and then it makes the solder brittle and breaks the contacts. It's a real easy fix. You just have to heat up and reflow that solder. And I'll show a little bit of video of what the issue was. Now, the speaker also doesn't work, so I'm going to have to replace the speaker, but I'll probably be able to find a cheap replacement somewhere. But I really went over and cleaned all these items up. These are in way better. Like, this is actually an upgrade for my copy of Zelda. Zelda 2. There's a big piece of plastic out of mine, and it was a gift from my friend Matt. And so yeah, these have both been. I got these to sell. The plan, I'll get these to sell. I might do something with that Game Boy. I don't know. But there we go. So then the next item I find, get to another garage sale. They got 2 boxes of Wiis. There's like 2 Wii systems and a bunch of shitty baby games. A lot of Fairly Odd Parents or whatever it is, Fairy Odd Parents. And so we got this Game Boy Color, naturally missing the battery door. For $4 you can get a replacement battery door, and I might do that. This one worked fine. Actually, the sound is really low, and I think there's an issue with Game Boy Colors. I think it might be a capacitor that goes that makes the sound low. So I might have to do a little surgery on this. And then it had Home Alone in it. And I paid a grand total of $2 for this. And then I rolled up on a garage sale, looked around, you got any games? No, nothing. Then I see this. It's a Pokemon Jawbreaker. So you got this, like, thing that you put the Jawbreaker in that spins it. I don't know if you're supposed to lick it and spin it. Like, there's I don't know. It's stupid. It's got a keychain. You keep your Jawbreaker in it. And it spins for some reason. Then there's 3 exclusive Pokemon stickers in here. This is from 1999. Offered 50 cents. I looked this piece of shit up on eBay, and this exact same thing sold for $6.50. So, I'll probably hang this up on my wall somewhere. That's kind of neat, I guess. And then, roll up on a garage sale, buy any video games, and I'm probably just going to throw this away on it. Or this may be a bonus or the bone gift. This may be the bone. Hey, buy any video games. And, we're closing up, so here, you can just have it. And they give me this shit. Disney Infinity with the little stand and the figures and whatever the fuck this is and whatever the fuck this is. I don't know. And, I think this is just the most basic pack you can get. I don't know. Anyway, so I got this. And then a kid appears, like the kid from the garage sale appears, is like, oh, here's another video game. And it's Pac-Man Versus and Pac-Man World 2. Now, I'm a lot more interested in this. So I paid a grand total of $0. And this is one of those games that, at least Pac-Man Versus, you use the Game Boy Advance connectivity, and then someone controls the ghosts, and I don't know. Pretty excited about Pac-Man Versus. Looking forward to that. And then the last sale was a dirty old warehouse sale, and I got Tetris for 75 cents. So that's what I got this week. Thanks for watching.